in. Thank you for letting me know. Tack, tack, tack. All right, let's see. Yeah. Any better? There we go. All right. Okay, that's for Facebook. Shall we begin again? Welcome to Karma on Deck. It is 2 minutes and 9 seconds. I think I can fix that. All right, so we have the Justice card for you, the Devil card, the 10 of Coins, the Hermit, and the Temperance. So I'm going to move through this pretty quickly. What we have here is the Justice card. Justice is pretty much another word for consequence. We have the Devil card, which is habits. What are the consequences of your bad habits? What are the consequences, of things that you are not paying attention to, where your conflict lies? This also has to do with 10 of Coins, which is judgments, okay? With Justice and the 10 of Coins, it may be telling us, that has to do with legal matters, anything from divorce to buying a house, okay? Anything that has to do with a legal document, mediation or contracts. We see the Hermit card, which is you going quiet and going silent. Scorpio has this tendency right now to want to be like withdraw a little bit and get themselves a little bit of clarity and thinking and being able to just withdraw from situations in order to decide, how to move forward in the best mechanism, the best way, and what's in the most balance overall. We have the Temperance card, which is that balance. So here, this individual is looking in the mirror. And as they stare into the mirror and as they look back at themselves, they make a decision, they make an evaluation. That's justice. Where do I stand? What am I doing? How am I behaving? Right? And we're making a good long look, taking a really good long look at our habits, things that are influencing us, what's good for us. Okay? I'm also seeing the Knight of Swords, which says that Scorpios have this attitude lately, a little bit of short temper. We have the Page of Wands, which means you might be learning something new coming up soon. That's an online course. That's training at a new job. That's, actually going back to school. But this is more so taking a few classes rather than going back to higher education for a long term or a long period. This is online training. This is reading. This is study. I am seeing 10 of Swords, which is going quiet. You're like just kind of feeling like a ghost in your own home where, you're bumping elbows, but you're not really talking, or you're kind of feeling the Nine of Swords is that card where you feel like your voice isn't really being heard and you're not quite sure if that's something you even want right now. So you're just kind of keeping quiet or keeping silent and just saying it's not worth it, right? I'm seeing the Four of Wands, right? Either that or you feel as if your voice isn't making any effective change. And so with the Nine of Swords here, it feels as if there's a barrier between something that you need to say and someone else's perception of it, or having something that you need to say that you're keeping secret as well. I am seeing the Four of Wands, which is your house, your home, and your structure. I see the Page of Cups, which is new beginnings. And I'm also seeing the World card, like you're starting to look at things in a more expansive view. I see the Five of Cups, which is pragmatism, okay? And pragmatism has to do with like looking at things with a finer judgment and a viewpoint, being able to vet information before you make a move, and seeing that you want to be able to make sure you have the information that you need before you make these moves. And this is distrust. You have like a lot of distrust in you for others, and you're looking at like, putting that away in order to like, am I being too judgmental with justice? Am I like making people pay consequences for things that aren't, their due? Or are we actually right? So this card right here is distrust of others and ourselves. Like maybe my judgment has been off. I need to reevaluate that a little bit. So a lot of reevaluation is going on with the Temperance card, okay? And the Temperance card is also about balance. It's looking, if you look at it, she's got 2 cups, one on each hand and the other. You can't serve from an empty cup, and you can't fill a cup that's full. So you have to strike this perfect balance. So what is the balance that you want to strike, Scorpio? Scorpios are very intense and very deep. I would say that Scorpios are very much the strong silent type. You have both the Hermit and you have the Nine of Swords, right? So this is feeling blocked in. And this Nine of Swords is also overcommitment in a lot of ways, feeling as if you've got too much on your plate. Too many resources being pulled at you, so you kind of don't know which direction to go. And with those energies, there's a lot of frustration involved. Okay, so in response, I see you going into hermit mode, just focusing on what needs to get done. But also watch your temper, Scorpio. I am seeing 2 cards for that. One is impulsive choices, impulsive decisions, and the other one is Page of Swords, which is short temper. Are you snapping at people, Scorpio? Why? So remember, resentment. What is resentment? Resentment is resistance. What is resistance? Revenge. Revenge is having resistance and resentment. The 3 R's of reactivity, and responsiveness. Are you reacting, responding? Are you coming from revenge, or are you resisting something? Those are all negative ways to move forward in communication, right? So we have the 6 of Cups, which is celebration. But here's the thing. You're so overwhelmed right now that you're not having a very good time. I think Libra had this too, but this card right here is for, hi darling. So this is the card for, having blinders on moving forward. And so that reminds you to get clarity, to think real clearly about your decisions, especially with the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is distrust. You're not sure you can trust people, and so you're pulling back, keeping your circle small. And next to that, here you have this overwhelm, like you're not quite sure how to move forward, and you're working on faith right now. Trust yourself, Scorpio. Yes, it's on YouTube, Beth. Hi, Brad. Hoping I'll see you in April 19th. You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Grant. All right, here we go. This is your, did I do your moon reading? No, I did not do your moon reading. I was grabbing the wrong deck. All right, here we go. So this is for Scorpio moon. Book your one-on-one, karmaondeck.com. Tarot 101, tarot readings, energy work, Reiki, spiritual mentorship, meditation, Reiki, tarot, and astrology in a 4-week course. NLP practitioner coaching. Come play with me. All right, here we go. The Fool card, that's been coming up. Lots of opportunities. Remember, it is spring. Don't be stubborn. You have arrogance within you right now. You have a lot of Taurus energy, which is bull, stubbornness. Look at the Hierophant. I have been writing the astrology. A lot of decks have astrology connotations within them, but we have the Hierophant, which is arrogant. It's also an instructor. Taurus is the foundation. Taurus is very family oriented. It's also arrogant. It's also very like, no, I know already. And just remember that this has to do with being like, don't be too stubborn and arrogant. Be teachable. We have the King of Pentacles, which is leadership and money. So you're really paying attention to what's happening with your leadership and how you're operating with your money. King of Coins, leadership. So you might be finding yourself moving into a leadership or management position. I see the Fool card, which is opportunity and crossroads. So you're finding yourself at this opportunity where you might be, building your future. Look, Ace of Pentacles and money, 10 of Pentacles, your legacy. The King of Wands, work and leadership yet again. So you're thinking a lot about all of that. You have the 7 of Swords, making the best of a bad situation. This is also, doing things on your own and making sure you're making decisions for you. This is the 7 of Swords, can sometimes be sneaky, kind of going behind the back door. But this card has to do with mostly the newest connotation that I'm having for it is making the best of a bad situation. I do see that you're afraid, okay? There's a little bit of fear. You have the Moon card, and the Moon card is obviously Pisces energy. The Moon is emotion, so you might be finding yourself being full of emotions. I see the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is somebody who's all about image, and you got to be careful of that because you don't want to get too far into fantasy and making sure that image is the only thing that you're good on because, you can't eat money. You can't eat money, right? You can buy food, but truth be told, you can't live on it. It's not something that brings you joy. So image is something that's false. Image is something that's what you put forward, yet that's something to strive for. Make sure that it's not something that's fake because this card can sometimes mean fantasy. And this card can often also mean that you have this energy that comes across as, there's a lot more to you than what goes on. And that's very Scorpio energy. Scorpios are very deep and intense and they show this image to the world, but then there's so much more depth. Right? And we see this burden, the 10 of Wands, the things that are required of you to take on. So you're taking leadership. You have the Emperor, okay? Aries energy, very direct. So you're starting to stride forward in leadership and take things a little bit more of a personal interest in the outcome of things that you're doing. But the Queen of Wands, though, has to do with image. Like you're making sure, just make sure that the image that you put out there is authentic because I see that you're trying to strive for a little bit better and a little bit more. And you have this perfect image coming forward for you. And this is a goal. right? Something that you've been working toward. Again, Seven of Pentacles, this work and these things that you're working on right now are moving forward towards your future. So as you're moving forward, you're sowing seeds right now. One more card, and then I got a client at 2:30 and I'm pushing it. But I did want to get Scorpio done for you guys today. Yeah, welcome. Here's your final card. Please come to my YouTube and subscribe there. I would love to have your company and your support for both Facebook and Instagram, where you can see the picture-in-picture, and they're all listed on a playlist so you can see all these signs for yourself. Here's your card, Mystical. That's your answer, Scorpio. The thing you don't focus on, the mystical, which is funny. Scorpio, knowledge, intensity, and depth. So focus on what's mystical and focus on like the clouds, the light and the dark and the balance amongst them. Focus on the light as well. Mystical, meditate. Do something fun with meditation. Are you grounding? Are you paying attention to the spiritual side? Are you giving as much focus to your spiritual side as you are to your financial? If it's not growing, it's dying, darling. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. And remember, the Death card is the Scorpio card. There's no coincidence that I just said rebirth right there toward the end, and change is beautiful. Intensity. Scorpio is the Death card. Move toward change, Scorpio. It's where you do best. And embrace it. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. My message is and always will be love is the answer to every question. If you find love in that situation, you have the answer. I want to thank you for hanging out with me, and I will